I think that's nicely framed now. The car does start, but it's, well, what have I done, really, is the question. No, seriously, this is my new car, guys. What is going on? And welcome to Stef ABtv, and welcome to my high mileage, extremely cheap, unloved, Smart 451 Brabus. Now, why have I bought this, you might ask? I'm going to share with you guys what this car is, why I bought this specific car, what I want to do to it, and why I think actually it's going to be quite a good purchase and a lot of fun. The Smart 451 Brabus edition, however, was something that I always looked at and could never really afford at the time. This in its heyday was about 20 grand to buy, I believe. But I picked this up for 2,800 quid. Now, some might ask, well, that's not really cheap in the grand scheme of things, but at the time, it was the cheapest 451 Brabus on the market. So I bought it. In terms of the mileage, what's the mileage on this car? Well, it's got 84,000 miles. Again, some might argue it's not astronomically high, but it is only a 1 litre turbocharged engine. And that's where this gets quite fun, because the 1 litre turbocharged engine in this car is a 1 litre Mitsubishi engine producing 100 brake horsepower. The car weighs about 800 kilos. It weighs absolutely nothing. I mean, I can literally push this thing. That's how light it is. So you can imagine how fun something so light with 100 brake horsepower is going to be. It pretty much is. It's like Mario Kart in real life. Now, am I going to do stuff to this car? I will do stuff to this. So I'm going to map this. With a remap, you can get around about 125 bhp. Power to weight ratio on that is going to be quite hilarious. The gearbox on it is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I'll show you when we go for a drive. And also, I need to do a bit of restoration and bring it back to life a little bit before I start playing around with the map. But yeah, we're gonna have some fun with this thing. One of the other main reasons for getting this car is a bit of a runaround is most of you guys will know, if you're new to my channel and this is the first video you're watching, I'm fortunate enough to get access to a whole load of press cars. And actually, I've got press cars lined up all the way through till October now. So this for me is a bit of a runaround and something a little bit fun to play around with. Most of the cars that I've had, the 4C, the 124 Spider, have spent most of their time just sitting on the driveway, not being used. I think combined mileage in both of those cars since I had them for about a couple of years, well, I had 4C I had for nearly a year, 124 I had for nearly a year, something like 3,000 miles combined. So it just really isn't worth it, particularly if I'm going to be looking at getting another car maybe on finance. So for now, this is the little runaround. The other thing, which you'd be quite surprised, actually the boot space is pretty decent. And actually this is perfect for dogs. If you're not aware, I've got a French Bulldog, his name is Rolo, and he loves this car. One, because he gets to stay close to me, and two, he's got great view out the back window. One of the other reasons why I really bought this was, one, it's a Brabus. It's a Brabus car, which is hilarious. I mean, it's not really, well, it is a Brabus. I mean, look, let's put it into perspective. So I paid 2,800 quid for this. The wheels alone, they are genuine Brabus wheels. The wheels alone are 2.5 grand, which means the rest of the car is worth 300 quid. But the other bit as well as to why I bought this is it's cheap. It literally runs on air. It's peanuts to run, peanuts to insure. And as a runaround, I think it's flipping cool, man. I like the look of them. I like the shape. And if you don't, quite frankly, I don't care. The wheels is something that I need to address. They need to address that pretty quickly, because whilst I say the wheels are 2.5 grand, these wheels are definitely not worth 2.5 grand. Take a look at these. Now the Smart Brabus wheel setup, the wheels themselves are they're staggered. So you get 17-inch Brabus wheels on the rear and 16-inch on the front. They're kind of the monoblock version 6. This is the pre-facelift Brabus. On the newer one, you got different wheels as well, and you also got a couple of changes in terms of facelift parts on the car. But as you can see, unfortunately, these Brabus wheels, they came diamond cut from the factory, although there is nothing diamond cut left in these. They are heavily corroded. All 4 wheels need a pretty hefty refurb. This has got cobwebs on it as well. So that's one of the first things I'm going to need to address is redoing the wheels, because, well, when these are diamond cut and they're fresh, they look incredible. However, these look, well, they look very unloved. The same can be said about the front wheel, heavy corrosion in there. Same with this one, centerpiece is starting to corrode. And then finally the front right needs a bit of work as well. So really and truly, will that be the first thing that I'm gonna have to get sorted out? Wrong. So I've actually had this car for, I'd say, a couple of weeks, and already I think it needs a new clutch. Yeah, every now and again when I drive the car hard and I put it into first gear and reverse, it judders quite a bit, because the interesting with this car is it's not an actual automatic car. It's a manual gear, it's an automated manual gearbox, similar to the MTA you'd see in an Abarth 595. So what you have a clutch actuator which engages the gears manually. That's prone to failure on these. This has had that replaced, but I'm still getting a bit of issues already now with first and reverse when I engage. It's very, very juddery. If you take a look here, these panels have been, well, they're not very gloss black anymore, so I need to fix that. That needs to be sorted out. The other thing as well is just kind of basic love. Look at the state of these plastics, they're just hideous. I'll show you the front as well so you can take a look. But the front number plate area, completely peppered. Can you see that? Completely peppered. So I'm just trying to debate what I do. I think I might just wrap the whole car. I think that would be probably your best bet. Wrap the whole thing, maybe pick like a stealth color to go nicely with the diamond cut wheels, and then yeah, it needs to show you the interior, because the interior is actually quite nice. So here we are inside my little Smarty, my little Brabus. First thing that we get with the Brabus as well, first we get a leather steering wheel, which is all right. The car is non-power steering, but in a car that weighs nothing, you don't really notice it other than when you're kind of trying to maneuver in tight spaces. But once you get moving, it's completely fine. We get leather seats as well, which are really nice with kind of Brabus embroidery here on the top. We get the panoramic sunroof as well, so it allows super amounts of light. We get a leather trim here, leather trim dash. We also get heated seats in the Brabus as standard, which is also quite awesome. And then we get the Brabus instrument cluster with the rev counter and the Brabus speed display. And of course we get paddles as well. This has been fitted with a kind of Bluetooth, what's it called? Bluetooth phone speaker and wireless audio player, because the stereo is pretty pants, if I'm honest, and I think I'll probably change that to a doubled in with Apple CarPlay. I know you're probably thinking, hang on a minute, you're going to end up spending a lot of money on this car, but it's a little project and why not? The other thing, it's surprisingly spacious in here. I think people think of smart car and think they are like really small, but they're only two-seater and I've got loads of headroom. I sit really high, so I feel like I'm driving an SUV, which is quite hilarious. But anyway, let's take it for a drive, have a listen to how it sounds, and then we'll wrap up the video. So here you are, in my Smart Brabus, in my little real-life Mario Kart. It's a cool little car, man. I like, as a runaround, I really can't go wrong. The thing is, I said earlier on, the gearbox is horrific. You have to drive it with the paddles, because if you leave it to do its auto thing, it just revs to like 5,500. I'm going to give you an acceleration, but it might mean that I'm going to judder for the rest of the review. I'll show you what it's like. First gear, look. It's a little nippy, it's all right. Here we go. Look, we're not breaking any land speed records in this, but that's not the point of this car. I just bought it because it's cheap and I think it looks cool. That's why I bought it, and I think it is a cool little car. The other thing with kind of the Brabus car itself is the Brabus car comes with a lower ride height, so it's like 10 millimeters lower than the standard 451 Smart car, and you also get Bilstein dampers, and the ride is really it's really stiff. So I'll be quite interested. Oh, here we go, it's already starting to judder. You'll hear, look at this clutch engagement. This is going to be hilarious. It's going to smack me, watch. Hear that? It doesn't like being revved hard. So the funny thing is, if I leave it overnight, then it fixes itself. So I think it's probably due a clutch change. It's never had a clutch change in its 84,000 mile life. So we'll get that done. It's not going to be too expensive. Yeah, well, I say so. The ride on this actually is really stiff. For a car, you do feel it. Thankfully, I'm used to having like stiff cars in terms of their suspension. So for me, this is just a really small go-kart that feels even more like a go-kart. You can throw this thing around, but I do worry sometimes that I'm going to tip it over, if I'm honest with you. But it does handle the road reasonably well for a smart car. I'll show you this corner here. I'll come around here. Look. You know, you can lean on it, which is quite good, and I think that's predominantly due to the wider track at the rear. That's kind of a good thing. And yeah, look, I'm not here trying to tell anybody that this is the best thing since sliced bread. I'm just telling you what I bought and the reason I bought it, and that's pretty much the reason I'm making this video. But I will be kind of documenting the journey with this little thing. I will share with you, you know, what we do. I'll share with you the restoration. I'll share with you everything that I do in terms of remapping it. I'll probably put it on coilovers just for banter, because I think it will look quite good, stanced out. Throwing round, it is a little go-kart. It is hilarious. You feel the speed a lot more as well. So whilst I might not be going anywhere near as quick as I would have done in previous cars, I do feel the speed. It's really, really cool. It's really good fun. Top speed I think on this is 98 miles per hour. But when you do the remap, you remove the limiter off it as well, so you can go and do more. And I guess the question really as well for you guys is, you know, what you're asking is why have I bought this? What's the reason? Well, I just felt that at this moment in time, I've identified good opportunities for investments, and I want to see how those play out. So the money I got from the 124 Spider, I've put the bulk of it into investments, paid for this outright cash. It doesn't owe me any money, and then we'll see how it goes. You know, if the investments go through the roof, then I'll probably buy another car. If they all tank, then I guess that's life, right? Anyway guys, I thought I'd just do this quick video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please smash the like button. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think of the Smarty car, and I'll see you all very soon on the next one. Take care guys. Bye bye.